Hi, everybody. It's great to be here. Today, I want to talk to you about what you should be eating. And I know this is actually a complex subject, and I'm really only going to say a few things, sort of, very superficially here. But I want to bust a myth in terms of one of the food groups that's really been getting some very, very bad rep. In terms of what we should be eating, what we shouldn't be eating, to the cost of another, which actually we shouldn't be eating at all. And that is especially true when we're not well. So when we've got a chronic disease, it's very problematic to follow any sort of maintenance diet when we've got a chronic disease, because what we should be doing is actually looking at, okay, so what has caused us being not well? And then try and figure out, okay, how can we repair that? Versus when you've got a healthy body and you're looking for something to sort of live by that gives you some sort of a structure. And I understand that. But even then it's frustrating because you never know really what's good for your body and what isn't. And I think the only way to do that is actually to almost press the reset when you're at a stage where I'm assuming you are because you're in the group. So for any sort of chronic disease, we need to really understand that the best food for us to be eating is fruit. And I know fruit has been really sort of knocked for many years now because it's all sugar and it's all bad and it all goes on our hip. And I'm busting this myth. It's not true. It's totally not true. Fruit is the best energy food for us. It's directly usable by our cells. It re-energizes us. It rejuvenates us. And it's the perfect food for our body, for our intestinal tract, for our teeth, for everything. It is our perfect food. We are not meant to eat vegetable. We're not meant to be eating protein, and we're certainly not meant to be eating grain. And we've adjusted over time. Yes, our systems have adjusted to be able to forgive us the certain food bits that we actually tend to put in our bodies, thank heavens. But it's not the kind of food that our bodies thrive on. So that is the main myth, really, for me to be busting today. Fruit is very healthy for us. It's direct energy. Whereas if you eat protein, for example, protein acidifies. And one of the reasons why it does is because it's a load on our body when we eat it. Our body has to break it down. It has to disassemble all the parts, take the end bits off, reassemble the middle bits, and then it can use it because that's then the amino acid that actually is usable for our body. So before we even do anything, we've already wasted energy on digesting it. Plus, because we're not meant to be eating protein, it just triggers a host of reactions in our bodies that make our body acidic and toxic, and it clogs up our lymph system. And it's really problematic for our body to be dealing with. And truth be told, if you look at some people who are on a high protein diet, so bodybuilders, many bodybuilders are my clients because they're all gnarled up and their body's so solid almost, and I think it's muscle. It's not. It's actually the tissue hardened because it's just protecting itself from the acidity attack. That is the truth. And once they change the diet and they've been on a protocol and actually repaired the damage, then their bodies open up again, and they become the people they should be and that they have been when they had all these healthy bodies, and it's really after a while, after bodybuilding, and you've been on these protein shakes, a lot of them, high, it's always the dose, isn't it? But a high quantity of protein, that's what really hardens the body and makes it acidic and makes it very difficult actually for the body to come out of that state. It takes a while. I've worked with people sometimes who are literally, they were on a high dairy diet and the eyes, the irises had like almost like a complete white cover or surrounded by white. That's high cholesterol. And it's taken quite a while for them to be able to completely clear their lymphatic system of that. But, again, if you're asking about which kind of food you should be eating, it's fruit. Fruit is the best thing you can do for your body. And I promise you, it doesn't make you fat. I've just been on one of my annual detoxes. This is why I'm sniffling. I do apologize. But I promise you, I'm not fat. I'm really not fat. And I've been on fruit now for a month, probably. And it's just helped me keep my skin nice, not have any veins in my face or And it's really it's a very effective way of making sure that that your body stays healthy. So really, those are my recommendations for food, and just to be very mindful of having a high protein diet. Once you have gone through a protocol and actually repaired the damage that has occurred, and whether, again, that can even be genetic. It can be genetic or it can be acquired. It doesn't, at that point, it doesn't really matter. Once you've been through that and your body is in a state where it, where it can absorb shocks a little bit better, when the immune system is built up, your lymphatics are flowing, you're throwing out all the garbage that needs to come out of your body. That's really important. If you don't do that, you're not going to be able to remove the cause for your condition. Once you reach that point, your body there'll be a margin of error. So, you can have the odd steak, or you can have the odd coffee, or you can balance that is right for your body, especially once your body's had, been through like a disease or a condition. And I know this because I've actually been there. I had really high cholesterol age 25. I was on blood thinners. I had hypothyroidism. I had, my adrenals were totally shot. I had gastritis since I was 6 years old, and nobody knew how to cure. I've had IBS. So I know what it means to be sick. Let me put it this way. And so I really can empathize with the way that feels for you. And I know how frustrating it is when you really don't know what to do. And so if you've got any questions with regards to eating fruit, and you have any doubts or whatever, please put your questions in the comment box or PM me. It's always great to get questions and interest from the group. Meanwhile, stay well, and I will be back again very shortly. Take care. Bye-bye.